I'm a music teacher and I've never heard the music from the Super Mario Sunshine original soundtrack before, so join me live as we discover hidden connections, understand how music works, and have some fun along the way. Let's get started with the title screen.
Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
Okay, that was radically different than like Super Mario Bros. 1 through 3. That was also different than just Let's Go in 64. That's cool. Let's keep going. Oh! Oh my gosh. That right, you got goosebumps off of track number 2. That was awesome. That was so cool. All right, so it ended with the dum bump bump ba-dum. That's our motif A we've been hearing throughout this Super Mario series. That was also, by the way, just the upgrade of like the sound quality here. I believe we're on GameCube now. It is next level. It really is. Let's listen to this one more time. So we've heard this before. This idea. Was that the swimming? Was that swimming? And that was the water theme in Super Mario Bros. 1, was it? Or fishing in number 3? Let me know in the chat. I don't recall the exact name. Underwater theme. Yes, Connor Miller says underwater theme. Yes. From Super Mario Bros. 1. Yes, we hear... Okay, so we're hearing the underwater theme done up. It's like the underwater theme's going to prom. Like it's like looking real sharp. The underwater theme's looking real sharp. And then we hear right at the end our motif A. So cool. Let's keep going. Well, what an interesting piece of music that has a lot of what we're going to call Austin. Sorry if that guitar just hit the mic there for you. Boom! Oh, I just watched that in the replay there. My replay is like 3 seconds on. Sorry if I just maxed your headphones out. I just realized this light was not in the right place. Okay, so we have ostinato figures. Right there. So it's about a 12-second loop. Everything's different. The bass line's still different. And now we're back to the top. 11 seconds. So one could imagine something's happening on top of this. We're exploring. That we might be having pop-ups with dialogue. We might be having like a tutorial type thing. Something's happening here, I would imagine, on top of the music, but I don't know. You tell me in the chat. That's just my guess. And let's keep rocking on with this next one, Delfino. Oh, this is no good. Oh. Oh, that is so cool. This is taking from the underground theme. Not explain how and why. Oh, but now somewhere totally different. All right, it's looping now. So, hey, type a 2 in the chat if you recognize this. Type a 2 in the chat if you recognize that. All right, now. I already called it at the start of this, but if you never made the connection between this and the underground theme before in your life, type a 4 in the chat. Type 4 in the chat if you never made the connection that this actually... Check this out. That is... But instead of 2 times each, it's 1. It's changing the note order, but it's the same melody. All right, so we see Rock Solid says 4, Chaos Sweet Troll says 4. So cool that you guys just spotted that hidden connection. And I see Mini Baj 434. By the way, I apologize in advance for saying all of your names wrong. How cool is that? So here's my question, chat. Does this actually happen underground in the game? If not, interesting that the underground theme was used. And we even hear the sort of B section, or the start of the B section, of the underground theme here as well. Here. It's an airship. Interesting. Cool stuff. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so what we're seeing in Versus Proto Piranha is taking a little bit from, interestingly, what we saw in Super Mario Deluxe with the U versus Boo, if I recall correctly, which was we're headed towards something that's more of a blues. Now, in this case, this is not a 12-bar blues. No, actually, yes, it is. I take that back. It is 12 bars. However, it's 12 measures. However, within those 12 measures, it's divided up a little bit differently than how we typically see a blues being done. So typically a blues, we'd have 1 up here, and then we'd have 4 would actually be over here, and 1 would actually be over here. So this is, the order's changed a little bit. But anyway you slice it, by the way, we could call this 1 minor. It also starts off, interestingly, sounding like a minor blues right up to here, because you'll oftentimes have a 5 major and a minor blues. However, right here, I'm hearing a 4 major, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe still minor. All right, cool. So there's a couple different ways we can present a blues. A blues could have all major chords. A blues can have all minor chords. A blues could have all dominant chords. And a blues could have, as we see here, a mix of minor and major chords. Maybe even this is dominant here, but I'm not going to go through and get that right now. But the point that I'm making is that, oh, and you might be saying, well, what on earth is a major chord and what on earth is a minor chord? Well, first let's understand what a chord is. To understand what a chord is, you need to know what a note is. This is a note, this is a note, this is a note, this is a note. Play all 3 of them together at the same time. That collection of notes happening at the same time is going to create a chord. A chord. So we have chords, and chords have different qualities. For example, this chord right here, type the first word in your head that comes to mind when you hear this sound. What's the first word that comes to mind? Put it in the chat right now. What's the first word that comes to mind? Good. What is the first word that comes to mind? Put it in the chat. Now, we're going to take this chord. We're just going to change 1 note. And then go ahead and tell me what word comes to mind when you hear this sound. We have like Relief, Zelda. All right, now, when you hear this sound, what word comes to mind? Put it in the chat. What word comes to mind? Ooh, yeah, tension, unsettling. Okay, so these are different qualities of chords that are going to inspire different emotions. Now, as you can see, different people will have different emotional interpretations of the sound, but everyone usually heads in about a similar direction with the emotional interpretation. And so the chord quality means that the overall emotion of the sound will sound different. Now, if you're wondering why I color-coded these yellow, green, and red, the green is going to be for the tonic area, the yellow is going to be for the subdominant area, and the red is going to be for the dominant area. And these are the areas like in a video game where you would have safety, in the tonic area. There's some Koopas wandering around, but you're not really too much danger in a subdominant area, and dominant areas like it's you and Bowser trapped in a room. And that is how you create different levels of tension and resolution within music, which tells the story musically with all of the emotions that we're getting from the chords. Let's keep going with this next one. Oh, I actually like that one. Let's break that one down. was that? You okay, D minor? Oh, maybe B flat. And then the lowest note we hear is... Interesting. Huh. Kind of like a B flat to a C, which is interesting. So that B flat to C there, if I'm reading that right, that's actually like the last 2/3 of the Super Mario Victory theme, which goes A flat, B flat, C. So that right there might actually be a partial like stage intro, is like hinting at you're gonna go get victory. Perhaps that might be a tenuous connection there. It is a tenuous connection, but we made a connection anyway. Let's keep it on the next one. I'll just grab that bass line real quick. I don't know why it's escaped me. 1 second. I'm hearing. real interesting. So it's like a 1-6-2-5, but it's kind of messing with it because we have the guide tones of the 5. Oh, either we could call it the flat 2. Oh my gosh, what do we even call that? All right, so so here we have is what we're hearing. Oh, interesting. All right, that's what it is. You know what? I never even thought of doing that. That's crazy. That just blew my mind. You want to know something wild? I'm going to explain this to you. That just literally blew my mind. When I tell you, I've gone 34, 35, however old I am, years on this earth. I've been in music school, all about jazz, and homie, I never thought of doing this. Whoa! Oh my gosh! I've never thought of that before. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And by the way, I'm not saying that, like, you know, I've been musical, I've written all these books on music. I'm not saying that to be like, that's the only answer. It's not. You still got to make music. But, like, I've seen a lot of music patterns is the point that I'm making. I don't believe I have seen this pattern before in my life. Oh my gosh. I never thought of doing that. I don't know why I never thought of doing that. Huh. I've surely heard that before. Maybe I just never put the pieces together. Because even now as I'm playing it, it sounds familiar. Alright, so what's happening here and why is this blowing my mind? Okay. So, is it Koji Kondo blowing my mind? Probably. If one had to guess. Alright, so here's what happens. There's a classic chord progression we hear in jazz. You can hear it in other genres too, but it's a 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression. Okay? 1, 6, 2, 5. Now, this 1, 6, 2, 5, if I play it, it'll sound like this. Key, but you get the idea. You've heard that before. Type 1625 in the chat if you've heard this sound before. Going steady, going steady, going steady, steady for good. Going steady, going steady, going steady, steady for good. Oh, whoa, whoa. So that's a super common chord progression. You can hear it in so many genres. Now, what you'll do sometimes is there's ways around this where you can use, there's 2 tools that I've used in the past, and this includes like playing jazz and stuff. There's 2 tools you use. The first are secondary dominants, and the second is going to be tritone substitutions. Secondary dominants, tritone substitutions. Now, there is a third tool here that I never once considered using until this very moment now. And the third tool is going to be I'm going to call it a secondary leading tone, which kind of functions, it's like a secondary dominant, but instead of being, I mean, it is a type of secondary dominant. Technically, you could categorize it as that. But I'm going to call it using the leading tone as a secondary dominant. I've never thought of doing that. That's crazy. How did I not think of doing that before? Well, hey, here we are. So, a couple of different ways that I would play this. So, if 5 minutes ago you asked me the different ways of doing a 1, 6, 2, 5, here's what I would have said. I would have said, all right, well, we could do a 1. We could do a 5 of 6 to 6 to 5. We could do a 1 to a 5 of 6 to a flat 2 of 5 to 5 to 1. We could do a 1. We could do a regular 6. We do a flat 2 of 5 to 5 to 1. We do a 1. We could do a flat 2 of 2. We could do a 5 of 5. Then we could do a flat 2 of 1 to 1. And the thing that I never considered doing was doing a 1, doing a 7 diminished of 2 to 2 to 5. I must have heard that before somewhere. I just never thought of it. Wow. You learn something new every day. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Golly gee. I don't know why I never thought of doing that. Seems so obvious now. By the way, that's the power of music theory and understanding patterns, is once you know the pattern, I'm going to be able to use this for the rest of my life for composing, creating, playing music. And if you want some music theory patterns for you to use for the rest of your life for composing music and writing music, I created a free starter pack for you that's in the description of this video. Go ahead, click on that. It is at no cost to you. You get it. Rock and roll with it, and I wish you well with it. It is specifically for gamers who want to compose their own music, because I'm a gamer, and I like composing my own music, so I made you something to help you out. All right, let's check out this next one. All right, we get it. Yoshi drums. Cool. So we wanted to at least include one track in this OST reaction where I heard the Yoshi drums to make sure I knew what they were going to sound like. Interestingly enough, what we hear in these Yoshi drums is a tabla. A tabla. Tabla, it's an Indian drum. Well, it's actually two separate drums. One kind of looks like this. The other one's a little bit more cylindrical like this, and then it's got little tightening pegs on the side with things around it, so it kind of looks like this. But yeah, the tabla is two drums, and they've got these little resin caps on them. And yeah, classical Indian percussion. Interesting to hear that here, because if we go back to, for example, Super Mario World, those are more like bongos. Interesting stuff. Let's keep it going. There it is. Okay, so it's repeating now, but what we're hearing here is that classic underground theme, same key that's been in since the original Super Mario Brothers. And the key of C, then going to F. Absolutely delightful. Let's keep on cooking with this next one. Let's listen to that again. That's really fun. That's like what we heard in Super Mario 64, also like we heard in a Sonic game I listened to recently, where it's the played out of tune. That's really fun. I love that. That's so cute. I love that honking at the end. That's really funny. Wow, almost had time to write the whole thing down here. All right, we're almost there. Our C section is 1 to flat 7. Go back, just grab the C section. And we're also going to grab the melody pattern here as well. Get the A section. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all right. So first let's talk about the chords, then let's talk about the motif framework in the first part of this piece of music. So the overall structure, we have a 3-section structure, which, by the way, we've seen relatively common throughout this Mario series. It starts off the A section in the key of C major with a 1 to 2, a 1 to 2, then a 1 to 4 to 5 to 1. Pretty straightforward down the middle. Then it goes to the B section. The B section, now the harmonic rhythm doubles. Now you can actually see this. You can see that there's something happening. Like from here to here is our measuring stick. 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 So you can see every one measuring stick, we have something new happening in terms of the chords. Now here, what happens is we get 2 measuring sticks worth of time before something new happens. That's called extending the harmonic rhythm, or slowing the harmonic rhythm down so that the actual chords are changing slower. We have fewer chord changes. So that's a harmonic rhythm slowing down there in the B section with the 4 to 1 to 4. Back to 1, the 4 to the 5 of 2. Excuse me, the oh, maybe it doesn't go. So hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. It does go back to 1 here. And then it walks down to the 5 of 2. There we go. All right, so it comes back to 1, and now we can see that the harmonic progression speeds up. Now we're getting 2 new ideas in 2 new measuring sticks, and then flat 6 to 5, and then back to 1. And in the next section, we have the 1. One to flat 7, back to 1, and then at the very end, flat 6 to 5. That is, if anything, a Mario-ism as far as we've got going on. Now, in terms of the melody, we have this dum-diddly-dum idea. So we have idea 1, dum-diddly-dum, then we got dum-dum. dum diddly dum dum dum. Then we have the first idea, dum diddly dum da. So it's dum diddly dum, short short, dum diddly dum long. So we have an idea short short, idea long. So we could call that an A, B. I'm really going to think of that as being an A and then an A prime. So A prime means it is almost the same. It's like 3/4 the same. So both ideas in the melody have this dum diddly dum. So we have the dum diddly dum idea here, dum diddly dum dum dum. Then we have dum diddly dum da. Then we have dum diddly dum dum dum, dum diddly dum da. Then we have dum diddly dum 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 diddly dum. Dum 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 diddly dum dum da da, and that dum da da, that's different, so we're calling that B. So if we want to think about the overall melody structure, it's going to be an A prime, A prime in the first line, then an A B melody structure in the second line. Super useful for creating your own music because you can follow these same exact patterns. You can, for example, here I'll make you a little A prime, A prime, A B melody. So here's gonna be our A. Here's gonna be the A prime. So here's the A prime, A prime. Now A again. And that was our B the last time through. A little difficulty talking and playing at the same time there, but you get the idea. Type an A in the chat if you get the idea. All right, let's keep it going. Repeating. I'm gonna go back and double check myself on this one thing right here. Well, there goes that theory. Okay, that's perfect fifths, not perfect fourths. Okay, interesting. So, well, hey, I tell you what, there goes my little explanation out the window. That was a threatening piece of music, and let's check out the next one. Awesome. how late that percussion is in left ear. It's looping now. I'm gonna stop it. You know, this has got to be, real talk, my favorite version of the Mario theme ever. It's got to be, hands down. Real talk, I love that. That's so good. Now, one of the only reasons this can be my favorite is because I've listened to so many other versions before. But like, really, truly, honestly, that's awesome. I really enjoyed that. All right, why do I appreciate that? I appreciate the different ways that the voices created different harmonies than how we heard it before. I appreciated the layers of the voices, how they came in, just like the do-do-do parts. Like, so good. So good. I absolutely, absolutely loved that and really, really, really enjoyed that. Like, that was really good. Really enjoyed that. Now, let's keep it cooking. All right, it's looping now. Hey, so that's called a Cuica. Now, if we FSAPO Jake says that they own one. FSAPO Jake, we will not rest until you post a video on your YouTube channel of you playing your Cuica. You don't need to see your face. If you want to be anonymous, but post a video of you playing it, please. We want to see how it's done. We could also just YouTube it, but it would be so much more fun to actually see Jake do it. So hey, FSAPO Jake, why don't you go ahead and make a video of yourself playing yours? That would be so cool, so much fun. And then you could actually, I'll tell you what, FSAPO Jake, if you make it right now, if you do that right now and send it to me, you'll send it to J2O Juiced. J2O Juiced send it to me. I will put that link in this stream. It will live forever. Your time starts now. All right, let's check out this next one. All right, so something interesting about Shadow Mario intro is Shadow Mario is starting in the key of C. Well, it's starting on the note C, just like most of Mario's music starts on C. Now, here's where things get a little bit different. In the same way that the bosses in Mario so far have some type of chromaticism associated with them, we're seeing some chromaticism here along with Shadow Mario. I'm guessing Shadow Mario is going to be some type of person we need to fight along the way. Just guess, based off the music, also the fact that it's called Shadow Mario, not I Brought Extra Pizza Mario. So Shadow Mario starts on a C, then we go to a D flat, then a D, then to an E flat, over and over again. And this is chromatic. Chromatic means that there's a half step between each note. What is a half step, you ask? Well, you remember before when I played you a note like this, or this, or this? Well, there's 12 notes that we have in terms of the names of notes. We have an A, we have an A sharp, or a B flat, we have a B, we have a C, we have a C sharp, or a D flat, we have a D, we have a D sharp, or an E flat, we've got an E, we've got an F, we've got an F sharp slash a G flat, we've got a G, and then we've got a G sharp or an A flat. Now, you might be wondering, these places here where you have two, where I'm saying it's either or, it's in the same way that we could have two. Oh, let me put this up on the big screen here. We can have two, two, or two. These are different spellings. They sound the same. These notes sound exactly the same. They're just spelled differently. Okay, so we have 12 notes, and between each one of these notes is a half step. Now, you might be saying, well, hold on. I hear way more than 12 sounds when I listen to music. That's true, you do. But the way that these sounds are connected is, for example, this A right here. We hear this A, and this A right here. So type 8, the number 8 in the chat if you can hear the connection between these two sounds, but you hear they sound different. You know one sounds low, you know one sounds high, but you can hear the connection between them. Type the number 8 in the chat if you can hear the difference, but also the similarity. Again, 8 in the chat if you can hear the similarity. Now, what the similarity is we have A that is cycling, or we could really think about this as a sound wave. So a sound wave goes like this till it gets to your ears. All right, this is your ear, right, with a little ear hole, and then the sound goes in there, and then there's little bones in here that vibrate that then tell your beautiful brain, here's your beautiful brain, that music is playing. Okay, now what happens is that we can have an A that vibrates 440 times a second. Then we can have an A that vibrates 880 times a second. It goes twice as fast. So they're both A's, but there's a mathematical connection that is either 2 times or greater or 2 times smaller in terms of the number of vibrations per second. So what we have going on here is the half steps create a chromaticism. A bunch of half steps in a row create a chromaticism. Chromaticism, chroma, comes from Greek, which means color. So it's like you're getting all the colors, all the notes in a row. So we have C, D flat to D to E flat. And again, right, you say, well, why is it not C sharp? And why is it not D sharp? Well, this is just how I'm spelling it here. I'm spelling it with this particular spelling. And that's getting us our, let's put a little zhuzh on it here. Super Mario Shadow Dude coming up here. right, it's looping now. So, what we're hearing here is the intro to Shadow Mario. We're hearing that chromaticism here, plus we're then hearing a chromaticism starting on F. And when we go C to F, guess what that also does? That gives us our underground theme. Our underground theme starts on C and then goes to F. So we're seeing that C and F, but it's going... and over that. So we have this chromaticism that's representing Shadow Mario here, happening along with the underground theme, and it's actually matching the underground theme's shift from C to F. Super cool. Let's keep it going. All right, it's looping. I'm going to pause it. So in Ricco Harbor, we hear an almost exact copy of the chord progression from several tunes ago when we broke this chord progression down here. We hear a 1, instead of going to a 2, it's a 4, it's a 4, it's a 4, and then it's a 5, then it's back to 1 here. So the 1 happens a little earlier, and then here it actually stays on a 5, but otherwise the A and the B are markedly similar in their harmonic construction, in the sense that we have a tonic area, subdominant area in the B section. The harmonic rhythm doubles, right? We have the doubling of the time it takes for the chords to change over. And then instead of going back to the 1 here, it stays on the 5. Really cool stuff. Let's keep it going. How is this different from the last, like, boss combat moves? All right, it was just the intro that was different. Got it. Well, let's go back and appreciate that different intro, huh? Appreciated. Let's go to the next one. So let's talk a little bit about bass lines, shall we? 1, 3, 5, 3. So I'm no bassist. I've written a couple bass lines in my life, and I will tell you the most basic place you can really start for a bass line is playing the lowest note in a chord. So for example, if we have a chord of bass line would be it's the gong, 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 gong. Another type of bass line you can do 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. Now what we're hearing in terms of bass lines in this OST is a lot of 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. So we hear there's 1, 3, 5 3s, and if we take this back, you'll hear it. Type 1, 3, 5, 3 in the chat if you heard right there when I played my guitar along with it. It's going. Okay, so that 1, 3, 5, 3. That is a beautiful bass line. Now, for example, in like the Starman theme, the Starman, we hear like, well, depending on which version. The original Starman theme, we hear like, 3, 5, 1, 5. 1, 5, 1, 5. So there's different patterns of bass lines. That 1, 3, 5, and 1, 5, 1s, and just any combination of 1, 3, and 5 oftentimes fits like a glove for a bass line because it's literally using the... Oh, I just lost my train of thought. It's literally using the chord tones. So what are chord tones? Chord tones are the notes in the chord. So if we think about the notes in an F major chord, we have F, A, and C. The notes in an E flat major, we got E flat, G, and B flat. And the notes in the 4 is going to be B flat, so we got B flat, D, and F. And guess what the notes are below all of these? We have the 1, 3, 5, 3, which is F, A, C, A. Then below us we have E flat, G, B flat, G, and then here's the same as the first F, and then we've got B flat, D, F, D. So you can see it's literally taking the notes of the chord, laying them out side by side, and then playing through them to create a bass line. This is a fine way of creating a bass line, at least for starting out, and also if you want to create sounds like this. This is a fantastic way of creating bass lines that agree with the chords above them. Let's keep it going to the next one. So that race fanfare actually has the flat 6, flat 7, 1 chord progression that we've heard all the way since Super Mario Bros. 1 to indicate V is for victory. All right, let's keep going. Oh yeah, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. The headline is, this is actually the same. I was sneezing. If you want to know what took me so long to get back, I was sneezing, and I was sneezing really hard. So this is actually following the same chord progression, for the most part, as these two pieces that we heard before. This is just gorgeous. right here's what the Now we actually heard that. We heard that chord progression, that part of it. We heard, where did we hear that? We heard that here. Back here where we had 1 flat 7 1 and then it modulated up a minor third. So what we just heard there, it's like it's taking bits and pieces from previous chord progressions and bringing them together. Like this we heard right here, different key, right? What we just heard here started in C and then went to E flat instead of A to C, but that's still the same relationship. So A to C, if we count the half steps, we've got, well, let's lay it out here. We've got A, B flat, B, C. So that's 1, 2, 3 half steps. This is also known as the interval of a minor third. This distance is called a minor third. So if we start on C and now we do 1, 2, 3 half steps, we're going to have D flat to D to E flat. This is also the difference of a minor third. Now, interestingly, this is actually what we heard for Shadow Mario. So Shadow Mario is actually hidden to a degree, and this is a tenuous connection. Shadow Mario is actually hidden in the connection of the minor third right here at the end. The same exact distance, and that distance of a minor third actually holds within it the key of Shadow Mario. Let's keep it going. Also feel like we've heard this one before. This is that same blues. All right, same track, different intro. Let's go back and appreciate that intro one more time. That sounds like something out of Super Mario World. Yoshi starts different. No, about the same. At the end of the loop, maybe? All right. No, that's a fade out. This is the same mix different. More violent. one of two things here. So what we're hearing here in the boss music in Super Mario Sunshine is a different type of bass line, where instead of going like 1, 3, 5, 3, it's going 1, 5, in this case flat 3, 5. Now this pattern here we can call Alberti bass, because a fellow named Domenico, if I'm not spelling his name wrong there, Domenico Alberti invented it in, and don't ask me to name you the year, it was a while ago. But that idea, before Domenico, before Mr. Alberti, everyone was like, and he was like, guys, I've got something revolutionary to pitch to you here. Check this out. We're gonna skip the 3, we're gonna straight to 5, then come back to 3. Everyone was like, oh, no, and then he did it. So there you go, right there. That's a little piece of history for you, bringing in a different bass line thanks to Alberti. Different than being al dente. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, okay. Absolutely gorgeous, and a lovely feeling of just kind of chilling out. Doesn't seem like something too bad's gonna happen here. And yeah, let's keep going to the next one. Okay, so we have something like interesting going on here with the name of this piece of music. The name of this piece of music is Il Piantissimo. Now, I'm not sure what a Piantissimo is, or who. It's obviously a title. The Piantissimo. It could be a place or a person. Anyway, point is that I'm making here is that Piantissimo kind of sounds like pianissimo. And in fact, if we just take the T out, we can take pianissimo. So what is pianissimo in music? Well, we have in music different terms for describing the loudness of music that come from Italian. Italian, French, and German are the primary languages used in traditional music for understanding what's going on in different places, and more times than not, it's going to be Italian. So like 85, 90% of the time it's going to be Italian, and then maybe, no, I'd say 95% of the time it's Italian, 3% of the time it's French, and 2% of the time it's German. And again, it depends on what music you're doing, but by and large. What's a Pianta costume? What is a Pianta? What on earth? What is a Pianta? All right, hold on. I'm googling it. Instead of just sitting me here asking it, I'm gonna look up Pianta. Oh, it's like a plant. A plant costume. A guy in a plant costume is the problem. Okay. Oh, so it's like a living plant. Like a sentient. Okay, we're not going to argue about plant sentience. Yeah, but you know, when you're cutting the grass, you can see the chemical changes. Yeah, I know, I get it. All right. People with schnozzes. Got it. Copy. All right. Okay. They're like palm trees. All right. Anyway, I'm turning this into a music explanation, regardless of what it is. So, if we take the T out of piantissimo, we get the word pianissimo. Pianissimo means very quiet. So in Italian music terms, if we see a P, that's going to be for piano. And if you're going, hang on a second, that's the name of an instrument, not how loud things should play. Aha! Welcome to one of the first complexities of music. No, piano means quiet. MP means mezzo. Piano. Mezzo means like kind of. So it means kind of quiet. Then we have MF. Mezzo. Forte. Forte means strong or loud, and then we have actual proper forte. Now what happens here, if we do two P's next to each other, we get, drum roll please, pianissimo, which means very quiet. And indeed, if we do two F's in a row, and we're going to say fortissimo, which means very loud. Now, if we do three P's in a row, brace yourself for this one. It's going to be pianissimo. Now, if we do four P's in a row, hold on to your hats. Let's see if I'm going to get this right just in terms of the number of CCs I'm going to do. We'd have I did pianissimo. Pianissimo. Right, so we have pianissimo and pianissimo, which is like super, super quiet. And it goes the other way too with the forte. So we do three F's in a row. That's going to be fortissimo. And that is how music, traditional music volume descriptors work. All right, let's keep it going. Interesting. Alright, it's looping now. We have what may be a first in the Super Mario series. We have a piece of music in the key of G flat major. Now, I could be misremembering, but I don't recall hearing a G flat major piece so far out of all of the Super Mario mainline games that we've listened to so far in the series. Now, what's happening here is we have this as a chord progression. We got a 1, 4, 5 to a 1, 4, 1, 5. Two different combinations of our tonic. Let's actually call them out as we go. So we've got, well, we're doing black. We've got tonic, then we got subdominant, dominant, subdominant, and then tonic, subdominant, tonic, dominant as our two chord progressions. And let's check out this next one, which is Pinna Park, not the beach. All right, it is schlooping. So let's talk about ragtime, even though I wouldn't call this ragtime per se. It's like ragtime inspired. Now, if you go back to like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, you hear a little bit more of a ragtime type thing. Now, if you don't know what ragtime is, let's actually listen to some ragtime real quick. So you've got the vibes. All right, here's some ragtime. Let's see. Okay, what's that dude's name? Joplin. Okay, so that's ragtime. Now listen to this. Type a 3 in the chat if you can hear the connection. Again, type a 3 in the chat if you can hear the connection. All right, Dan Miller 299 can hear it. Who else can hear it? Okay, David Wachowski, the Nitro 1. Mogumulation says it's more of a two-step no. All right, so here's what's interesting. So Ragtime eventually turned into Stride. Yeah, so Stride is where you get a little bit more of a, and let's see some Stride piano here. Stride piano. Let's hear it. Yeah, Art Tatum. Yeah, Fats Waller. Let's Art Tatum. What a player, huh? Alright, now type a 4 in the chat if you can hear that this is sounding a little bit like Ragtime, but it's like pushing, it's a little faster, it's a little bit more sure of itself. It's running forward a little faster. All right, now let's go back to Pinna Park. So Pinna Park's feeling more like Ragtime inspired. Yes. Cool stuff. All right, so someone in the chat said, hey, talk about Ragtime, so I done did it. Next. All right, so what do we hear at the start of this version of fighting Mecha Bowser? Well, we hear in the key of D, it starts off with the interval of a perfect fourth, which we have heard before, translating Bowser's presence. We hear a 1 to 4 to a sharp 4, or aka the flat 5 to 5. And this right here, this jump from 1 to 4, that is the interval of a perfect fourth, which we have heard before for Bowser. And if we were to play that Let's put a little zhuzh on it. It gonna sound something like this. Ah. Oh, it's gonna be gnarly. How about this? Let's keep it going. Yes, Mugmulation, if you're talking about me, then yes. Oh, Shadow Right, he's a giant Bowser mech. Oh, it's Bowser Jr. There. Beginning, it's looping. Here's another possibly first in the Super Mario world is a piece of music in the key of A flat. We had G flat, now we have A flat. We can see that the world sure enough is opening up and growing larger with each subsequent game and also moving on to the different consoles and the more advanced sound cards and graphic cards, etc. that you get with changing consoles. Now, let's break this down here. Like a 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Oop, let's bring it back here. Well, that's our A section. I might change a second. That wasn't listening. Well, oh yeah, we'll just start with this. Boom, 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 boom. By the way, if you're wondering sometimes why I don't sit here and like write down the whole thing for it, it's like I could do it, but like we'd be here for like 2 minutes and then I'd explain it and like, oh my gosh, do you really want to sit here while I like write things down forever? Do you want me to pull one cool nugget out of each thing and give it to you? Let me know in the chat. We're actually gonna do a vote right now. Right now, I want to know, like for real, because I've done streams where like I broke everything down and everyone waited while I broke everything down. So, do you prefer one cool nug per music, the whole thing, and I will wait in, and I will wait. And now it runs. I'm gonna let this cook while it goes. That's what I thought. One cool nug for music. So much more fun that way. flying steel, pedal steel. That right there was kind of pedal steely. So, if you live in a pineapple under the sea, you might recognize that sound from, you know, that type of world. However, that sound's been around a lot longer than a squirrel in a bubble. Or indeed, Super Mario Sunshine. That's a pedal steel guitar, or indeed a Hawaiian slide, as they will do it in Hawaii. And that is, yeah, that's that sound. So you can check out Hawaiian slide guitar to hear what this piece of music was inspired by. Let's check out the next one. All right, we get it. I'm for some reason, I'm a little low on sleep, but that's. What was it? Oh, I'm not getting there right now. Yeah, no, my brain's not doing that. All right, next. Okay, well, let's talk about the baseline here in this first part. So we talked about the 135 baseline. We talked about the 151 baseline. Here we have a 155 baseline. So it's 1, 5. All different options for creating bass lines when you create your own music. Let's keep going. Oh. You know what we're hearing all over this? I'll play it for you real quick. Type a 2 in the chat if you can hear that guitar playing okay. If you hear the connection, I'll put a little zhuzh on it. So beautiful. There's one little thing in there. So that truly is an ostinato thing. So in Noki Bay, we're in the key of G major, and there's this one little part of the groove that goes through this entire piece of music that I want to point out to you. And it goes approximately dum 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 dum. Is it 2-1 there? Yeah, I think it's 2-1 5-6-1. So it sounds like this, and I think it's an octave up here. So. Sorry, not 5-6-1. It's 5-1-2. My brain is still working. All right, here we go. So it sounds like this. Type a 2 in the chat. Yeah. I'm not going to talk and play at the same time. Type a 2 in the chat if you could hear that in the music. Hear it? Alright, Yoshi Star's hearing it. So this, guys, because this repeats over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, in music we call this, well, you just call it repetition, but the fancy music term for this is ostinato. There might be 2 T's. Someone check my spelling there. Now, ostinato, if you want to say it like the city, Austin, and then like the name, auto, or like the car, auto. Ostinato, which means it repeats so much it could be described as being stubborn. Let's keep it going to the next one. The Sea of C. Mare. Isn't that like sea in Italian? This is beautiful. Valley a bit, isn't it, Storm? It's gorgeous. Type Sierra Delta, that's D in the chat, if this reminds you of Stardew Valley. This in terms of how calm and peaceful it feels. I don't know about you, I listen to this, I'm like ready to take a nap. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and really just translate that emotion, that feeling of, everything is well, everything is good. Let's keep it going. Alright, I'm going to listen to the night version, and then I'm going to comment on the night and day here. What I want to talk about here in the day and night, this is repeating now, is this section right here. I've never heard anything quite like this before in my life. Like shakers I've heard, yeah. The drum in your right ear I've heard. But that, like, underwater sounding... I've never heard anything like that before in my life. You know, I still have a functioning GameCube that I've kept all these years, and I've never played Super Mario Sunshine. Let me know in the chat. Type GC in the chat if you think I should go online, find myself a copy of Super Mario Sunshine, plug that old GameCube up to my TV and give it a whirl. We're gonna go to the section with Pianta Village. Oh, it's not from the beginning. Okay, so right there, we got 1, so that's 4. And then I did this. And it's like E6 to E minus 7. So it's like we got a 1. I'll play along with it and talk through it as we go. 1 to 4. 1 says 4. Yeah, so really, I'm not going to call that, I'm not going to say all this business. What it is, here, it's more of a 1 sus 4 to 1 to 1 sus 2 back to 1. Moves fast. So then we have an E6, or rather a 1-6. So I switch things over here. All right, so we got a 1-6 to 1 major 7 back to a 1, like. To the 4. Sorry. Cool stuff. Let's keep it going. Oh my. Flat again. And then it goes to like to 4. Okay, real interesting stuff. Let's pull it back one moment here. What the actual? All right, that is so cool. All right, so how this piece starts off, we're in the key of G flat. It starts on the 4 major to 4 minor. Bum, bum, bum. Well, I'm just saying whatever. Then 4 major to 4 minor. Then it's going 6 major to 7 major. 6 major to 7 major. 6 major to 7 major. And then the second time, it does something radically different. The second time, it actually goes 4 to 4 flat 5. Or you could go with 4 with a sharp 4. Let's go with a 4 with a sharp 4. That's fun. Yeah, 4 with a sharp 4. And then we're back to, or sharp 11 rather. And we'll call it a sharp 4. And then we're back to 4. And then there's a sharp 4. And there's one chord in here I didn't put, and that's fine. And then we're back to 6, 7, 6, 7. And that's like just the A section. And then it's basically just hanging out, goes to 1. Bum, 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 bum. Well, I tried to tell him the feelings I had for her in my heart. It's like Sting. Every little thing she does is magic. Okay. Basically, by and large, a 1-5-1 here. And then it's going to turn us back around. Really, really interesting. My favorite part is this right here. This is so cool. So to start off a chord progression going... And then... What was it? And then... Before it's alternating between major and minor here. And then the second time we hear the 4 come back, it's alternating between 4 and the sharp 4. So cool. Love it. Let's keep cooking. Let's go to the next one. So guys, check this out. We're hearing throughout this entire piece of music this. Over and over again, that is the bass line. That it is not just a bass line, but it's also an ostinato bass line. It's repeating so much we could describe it as being stubborn. That's holding down the fort for this piece of music. Now, because we've looked at the bass lines throughout this OST, I wanted to point this particular bass line out to you because it's different from some of the bass lines we've heard so far. First off, we can look. It's in the key of, I'm calling it C sharp minor. Also, we could call it D flat, but either way, not a key that we've heard a whole lot. We got 1 flat 3, flat 5, and 5, and we've heard a lot of 1s, 3s, and 5s. We've heard 1 flat 3s and 5s, but we've not heard too many 1 flat 3s and flat 5s. That's getting us that bluesy sound there. Let's keep going. We'll let back for 1 second here. So the iPad did just crash. I lost what I was writing, but I'll still explain this to you here. Alright, here's what I'm hearing on this. We've got like this minor 7 arpeggio, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, also a new bass line. Then we have 1, 3, 5, flat 7 back there. awkward to play. What we have going on there is a different bass line than we've heard so far at a much faster rate of speed, which gives this threatening feeling and threatening sound, which sure enough we'd expect from anything having to do with Bowser. And then we also heard, so like overall the chord progression here, which I will write out here for you. It's like the intro. It goes 4 to flat 3 to 1. Right before that, that 4 to flat 2 to 1 there. Oops. I just found out a new button on my mouse what to do. All right, cool. There's 1 to flat 2 to 1, the 1 flat 3 to 1. But this is a whole bunch of flats around the flat 2, flat 3, 1. All of that creates tension. Let's keep it cooking. Man, that crowd sound is crazy. Oh, that's gorgeous. Let's break that down to end strong here. So we hear, it starts off on C, to D minor, to G, to C sus4, C sus2, back to C. Absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for joining me on this first listen through of the Super Mario Sunshine original soundtrack. I absolutely love this. I had so much fun. And if you want the fun to continue and see the entire playlist for all of the Super Mario soundtrack reactions I did right here, you can see the next one up in our series right here. And if you're a gamer who wants to compose your own music, click right here to get the free starter pack to create your own music. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.